Hi, welcome to another reading vlog. So this week is going to be the Bookie Trials Winter Quest. I eventually decided to use a book that I was already planning to read, and that is The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. I had a look and I'm pretty sure the only prompt I wasn't sure about is LGBTQ, more letters, representation, but I joined a buddy read group for reading this book, and they've done much better research than me, and definitely does cover that prompt. The author themselves has said that, so hooray. This is going to cover all the prompts for the Bookie Trials Winter Quest, and I can get my demon back, which was my little Pewaka. So if you don't know, the Dragon Republic is the sequel to the Poppy War, which is this Chinese-inspired fantasy with god-based magic, war, and awfulness. It's not probably the nicest book. It is 24 hours, so it's going to be a bit of work for me to get through it this week, but hopefully I can find enough time. So far as well, I'm only listening to it on 1.25 speed because I don't want to rush it, because I kind of only vaguely remember the Poppy War. I looked up a recap, but I'm still easing my way back into it. Also, I have started reading Five Dark Fates. I'm about 70 or so pages in, so I need to make some good progress on this, because this week I need to finish this and potentially start Darkdawn in order to return both of these back to the library in time. And since we're talking about the library, I did stop by the library this morning and pick up a few books. So I've got The Afterlife of Holly Chase by Cynthia Hand. So this is going to be the Patreon group book from Rachel Marie's book journey. I'm actually really excited to read this because I believe it's like a Scrooge and the Three Spirits of Christmas, that story. It's like a retelling of that, but like a modern retelling with like a teenage girl maybe, as the protagonist. So I think it sounds really interesting. I've seen a lot of people say it's really good, and it's the perfect book to read for Christmas. So I'm excited to have that. I don't know when I'm going to read it, not this week. I also have another Babysitters Club book, graphic novel book. This one is Marianne Saves the Day, and the book is actually quite rough, so some children have clearly been throwing that around. And I also got Quiet Girl in a Noisy World by Debbie Tung. So this is another graphic novel that I said I was going to pick up. And then the one that I'm really excited about is Ascender, and honestly I just want to read this right now, but I really should focus on the books that are due back at the library soon and like save this. We'll see how long I can hold off on reading that and maintain my willpower. So anyway, that's what's going on with my reading at the moment. Otherwise, I'm just doing general life stuff. The weather has kind of turned crappy again, which is somewhat good because it's getting close to Christmas and it's kind of so busy everywhere now. It's better just to stay home. And so if the weather's crap, that's perfect. I'm staying home anyway. Come on. Here, come on. Oh, very pretty, aren't you? Huh? Very pretty. Oh, up here. You're very hard to keep track of. Of course, this is what the weather is like the one time I have to leave the house this week. Hi, so I didn't vlog at all yesterday because, to be honest, I'm feeling quite crappy yesterday. I just had a really sore throat and a massive headache, and like my lips are all swollen, which is weird because normally I have really thin lips, and now I feel like I don't even look like me. Anyway, I don't feel that great. Yesterday In the morning, I actually went shopping, which I'll show you some things I bought, but in the afternoon, I pretty much just stayed in bed. I did get some reading done, which was good, but not as much as I would have liked because I honestly just didn't really feel like even reading, which is the worst kind of sickness. So yeah, today I'm going to spend the day on the couch because I do feel like if I spend the day in bed, I end up feeling worse than if I spend the day on the couch, which is like halfway to being alive. I don't know, even talking now is making my throat hurt, so let's try to be quick about this. So reading, I've been listening to the Dragon Republic. I don't know why I always go to open it up because you can't even see that. I just put the picture up here. But I've been listening to the Dragon Republic and I'm kind of finding it quite boring. But I figured out my problem with this series. Like, the Poppy War I felt kind of meh about, but I really enjoyed the beginning, and that's because in the beginning Rin is like in poverty and she figures out this plan to change her circumstances, and she's really like proactive and determined and focused and gets into this military academy, and that's all really cool. And another aspect that I find really interesting is that then when she's at this military academy, she becomes a shaman, so someone who has this god-based magic. That's also really interesting. But actually, in the Dragon Republic, there's very little of the magic, so that's not there. Also, Rin just seems to be observing and reacting to things. She's not really a key character in what's going on, despite having this amazing power. And I don't really understand, like, this army has this amazing group of people with godlike abilities, and they're not using them. Like, even if you think they're somewhat unreliable, figure out how to use them. They're super powerful. It makes no sense. And Rin's just not doing anything interesting, so that's why I don't enjoy it. I can see that people who like the military strategy aspect and, I don't know, all the different war stuff, they might enjoy this book, but for me, so far it's quite boring. I'm about halfway through, so I'm not sure that it's going to change, but we'll see. We'll see. The other book that I've been reading is Five Dark Fates, so I'm now also about halfway through this. I wanted to tell you about this bit at the beginning. So right in the beginning, there's a list of all the different characters, just to remind you, because there are a lot of characters in this book, and it tells you about like their name and then also their roles. So you've got Genevieve Aaron, who's a poisoner, and you've got Bree Westwood, who's an elemental, you've got Luca, the high priestess, right? So they've all got like their name and also what kind of person they are. And then in the rebellion, the very last character that's listed is Braddock, a bear. And you won't be able to see that because it won't focus because I told it not to. But it just made me laugh so much when I got to the bit where it said Braddock, a bear. I do love Braddock though. And I'm really enjoying this. I think in the first book I didn't enjoy the writing style that much, and I can't tell whether it's that the writing style has improved or if I've just gotten used to it, but that's not annoying me anymore. And I just really like how it set you up, like all the characters are battling against each other, but at the same time you're rooting for all of them, even though it's not possible for all of them to win. So I think that's really well done, and I just can't wait to see how it all works out and who's going to win. Hopefully they'll somehow all win. That's what I want, is just what's best for the island. So I am enjoying that. I'm going to try, and I'd really like to finish it today. And since I'm feeling sick, I should be able to, but I thought I would make more progress yesterday, so we'll see. So also yesterday, as I was saying, I went Christmas shopping, and I went to Kmart, and in the end they didn't, I don't know what this little bit of hair is doing. In the end they didn't have stock of any of the things I wanted to buy, and the queue was massive, so I didn't buy anything, and instead I went to Wickles and bought some books for people. So if you're in my family and you're watching this video, you have to skip over this bit so you don't get spoiled for your Christmas presents, okay? So what did I buy? Firstly, I bought The Kingdom by Jess Rothenberg. This is like a Disney type story, except that all the actors are now AI robot type people, and we're following this main Disney princess AI girl, robot girl, who's been accused of murder. My sister really likes Disney. I think she'll like this cover, and so I thought I would give it to her. I am interested in reading it as well, and it kind of fits with the book that I got for my cousin, which normally I don't buy presents for my cousins because I have like 50 million cousins and it's too expensive, but I saw this book and I thought it would be perfect for her because she really likes Mulan. So I've got the Magnolia Sword by Sherry Thomas, some kind of Mulan retelling. The girl in the bookstore was telling me that it's very different from any Mulan thing she's ever seen, and it's much more realistic and perhaps a little bit brutal. I don't know if my cousin will like it, but I couldn't resist buying it for her, so I will be giving her that. And then my sister and my cousin will both get Disney-ish themed presents, but not really. Anyway, I also got for my mum Nine Perfect Strangers by Leanne Moriarty. I have seen mixed reviews for this, but I love Big Little Lies by Leanne Moriarty, and honestly, I wandered around for ages looking for something that my mum might really like, and I was actually quite disappointed in the bookstore's selection. So, whatever. At least they didn't have massive queues. I always find Whitcoulls in Albany does a phenomenal job of keeping their queues down at Christmas time. I really need to remember to avoid them all from now on though, because it was crazy. Anyway, this clip has been way too long and my throat is sore, so I'm going to go and convalesce. I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm going to sit here and convalesce on the couch and hopefully feel better later. Hi, it is Sunday now, so I'm not sure when I last vlogged, but it was a while ago. Basically, since I last talked to you, I've spent the whole time in bed feeling like shit. My throat has been so full of phlegm and I've just been so tired and I have such a headache, but I'm sort of feeling somewhat human today, but still sick, so I'm kind of still just going to spend all of today resting and not doing much either. But I didn't spend all that time reading, but I still got quite a bit of reading done. So I don't think I told you, but I did finish Five Dark Fates, and I really enjoyed it. It kind of made me quite sad at some bits. I think if you have sisters, it might make you sad. I just thought I really enjoyed the way the situation was set up so that people were forced to be against each other even though they weren't necessarily against each other. I don't know. I quite enjoyed it. Probably going to give it 4 stars. I think it's a good read if you like dark witchy stuff. I loved all the different kinds of magic and it was just an enjoyable read. The other book that I have finished is the book that I'm reading for the Bookie Trials Winter Quest, and that is The Dragon Republic. Oh, I already returned it. And again, I don't know why I'm trying to show you on here. But so I listened to that audiobook and I looked on Goodreads. It's got really good reviews. A lot of people seem to be enjoying it. I just watched this Daniel Green review where he raved about how great it is. I'm in this group chat for the buddy read part of the Bookie Trials Winter Quest, and everybody else in there seems to be thinking it's really great. And I don't understand at all, to be honest. I think it's because if you like military tactics and political stuff, and what else do they like about it? I don't know. Personally, I just find Rin to be a really weak character. She does some really inconsistent stuff. She, most of the time, isn't doing anything. She's just reacting and observing other people do stuff. There were a few interesting things that happened throughout the book, but really not that much. I doubt I will continue the series because I just don't think it's for me. I think there's such an amazing magic system that has so much potential to be explored in these books, but it's not really being explored, and so that's disappointing to me. So anyway, I think I finished this on Wednesday nights. For now it's Sunday, and since then, Wednesday might not be accurate, but anyway, since then I've been reading Darkdawn. I am about halfway through now. I'm really enjoying it. Last night I read this chapter and I told myself I'll just read one more chapter, then I'll go to bed, and then I read the chapter I was up to, and it made me cry. There were 2 very upsetting things that happened in the chapter, just bawling my eyes out, and then I wanted to stay up until something in the future that I know will happen happens, and it will at least make me feel better, although probably more awfulness will happen. But I wanted to stay up, but I just know it's going to be a really long time, so at the end I just had to go to sleep, upset, and I had a dream that was definitely influenced by this book upsetting me. So, Mr. Kristoff, don't do that. So I am enjoying this. I think actually so far I'm enjoying this the most out of all three books, because we are kind of heading towards where I want the series to go. We're learning more about what's going on with the gods and the shadow magic. I do think it's a little bit drawn out, more drawn out than it needs to be. There's some scenes that could probably be cut. I don't care about them. I've also sort of started just skimming through the footnotes rather than reading them properly, because for the most part they don't matter and I don't really care, and I think that's fine. But yeah, I am really enjoying this, so that's good. I kind of want to just try and finish this today, but I think that's probably a little bit ambitious because I still feel like crap. I'm probably going to need some naps today, but I'll see how far I can get through it. Also, I started listening to the audiobook of Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm only a tiny bit into it, like 20 minutes into it. But so far it's a good start. So I will keep reading that as well. I haven't actually been doing as good at reading audiobooks because I haven't been going anywhere. And normally I read audiobooks when I'm out walking and stuff. And so I've just had to listen to them while sitting around, which feels weird. So I'm not sure when I'll actually make some progress with Daisy Jones and the Six, but I'll definitely make some more progress on Darkdawn today while I lie around and do not much of anything. Hi, so this will be the end of the reading vlog. Last night I did stay up late and finish off Darkdawn. It made me cry in a lot of bits, and I think I'm going to give it 5 stars. I actually ran it through my rating spreadsheet and it came out like at 4.4, which would mean it's only a 4, and I decided screw it, and I bumped up a few things to make it a 5 because I just think in the end the emotional impact that it had on me means that it deserves a 5 stars, and I really enjoyed it. I think there were some really great parts. I love the ending. I thought the magic and the world, the way that it all ended up, was amazing. I thought Jay did such a great job of like bringing things from the very beginning and including them in the end, and how things all made sense. I really enjoyed it. I definitely recommend this series. I don't understand people who gave this a bad rating. I thought it was great. I'm very happy with it, and I'm very sad to be taking this back to the library today. Anyway, otherwise I am feeling mostly well again today, thank goodness. I was so sick of being sick last week, you don't even know. I mean, I can still feel there's still some phlegm in my throat, but I feel like a human being, which is great. Like, I don't feel like there's this big fog in my head, which is what was making most of last week feel awful. Anyway, I don't know whether this vlog will have been very exciting because I haven't edited it yet, but I will edit it soon and hopefully it will be alright. I did read some exciting books, so that's good. I'm still watching my buddy read group of the Dragon Republic, watching them all say how much they loved it, and I still haven't figured out why they love it because I still don't love it myself. But anyway, I'm gonna go. As always, thanks for hanging out with me this week. I hope that you had a really great week, and I will see you next time.